This year at the Ironman World Championship, we have a host of fast triathletes on our equipment, including Marinda Carfrae, Pete Jacobs, Chris McCormack, Luke McKenzie, Jordan Rapp, Ronnie Schildknecht and Marino Van Honacker. They're all riding the SRAM Red Quarq power meter, new for 2012. It's the first power meter designed and built into a group set. It features power balance, Omnical, a host of usability features and a smaller and more compact CR2032 battery. Before the race we were able to speak to Pete Jacobs and Ronnie Schildknecht and ask them about how they plan to use their power meter. And then following the race we retrieved their power data and we're going to analyse it and see if their race panned out the way they thought it would.
I know my numbers, so I will never go out and ride 400 watts for a 180k bike ride because I know I will not see the finish. So I approach it a bit faster maybe to catch up in the beginning, but never go over my numbers. Hold back all the way, even if you could always push a bit more, hold it back. It will pay back in a positive way because you conserve some energy.
I can see things that happen numerically, but I don't know what was going on in his head. I don't know what he was thinking, what he was experiencing, what was going on in the race around him, how the heat was affecting him. I can't tell all that from looking at the power meter, so we're going to just kind of like put the two together.
When I came out of the water, I was with Sebastian Kienle, with Andy Rellert. I had a plan to ride constant, about 300 watts in the beginning, and then after Hawaii, if I still can, I ride 310. Then there are tactics as well. So I thought if I have a group like this, why not go with the group? And I was slightly, I mean more than slightly over 300 watts, and I just knew it's if I keep going like this, here it will be even worse. So I let him go, and I started to just pace my own race here. Just after the race, I always tell myself, if I look at it like, oh, if I start here a little lower, I think I would have a better race maybe. But because you're racing against other guys, I think you have to go, because it's a head-to-head game, you have to go with them.
Riding with power, particularly with the Quarq and having a headset there that's giving me the power all the time. Race day, it's just going to give me a little bit more confidence, because generally on race day, you know, I feel so fresh that I'm riding stronger than I was in training. Your numbers are right up there, and you just suddenly can relax, and you know that you're going quick enough, you know, you're pushing hard enough, you know, even though it feels easy. Race day on the bike here is just going to be, you know, just do what I need to do to stay with the pack. You know, I'm prepared to push as hard as I can for as long as I can to stay with the pack. That's all it comes down to. Get off and run. It's a different race. You know, if I've got to take the first few kilometers a bit easier, you know, that's only going to help me in the back end of the marathon anyway.
Seems like a bit of a dream yesterday. You know, I was very different to previous years.
Your power early on, a couple of high area up in here, starts getting higher on an approach to Hawaii. Then we drop down after Hawaii, and you can see the wattage is coming down.
I really don't like doing these spikes that you see early on when the gaps open up and you've got to really make it up quick, or otherwise guys jump in and then you end up at the back of that train and it just gets harder and harder. So I was just trying to spot when I could make a move past one or two guys into that gap so I could get back up towards the front. I really liked it once the pack split up and I could just kind of get out in front and get out with smaller groups of guys. That it was easier just to ride a more even pace for me.
Pete, we appreciate you coming in. Congratulations again on your race, and look forward to seeing you at the next race.
Thank you.
There you have it. Ronnie Schildknecht came out of the water a little behind the main group. As predicted, he pushed the power to bridge the gap, but he pushed those big numbers for too long, and he paid the price later in the bike. Pete Jacobs, on the other hand, he came out of the water with the main group. He didn't have to expend energy early. He was able to maintain his target wattage. He only burnt his matches when he needed to pass a fellow competitor. It left him fresh for the second half of the bike ride, and then he was able to run off the bike and do the sub 250 marathon we talked about earlier.